Hey everyone, Jay Whitner here with Space Headlines. We do a quick recap each week of what's going on in space, and today we're going to be talking about the first week of June 2019. Our first story has to do with NASA's space commercialization study that they started up a while back. The news, though, is they've released the summary findings of the corporations that participated in the space commercialization study. So there were a dozen firms that participated, and everybody had their own ideas about the scope of humans' commercial spaceflight in the near future and what it was going to look like. And what NASA's released is one-page summaries from each of the companies in a quad chart format. So you can see this on the NASA website. It makes for interesting reading to see what what those 12 companies are envisioning for our future. Momentous is a space startup that's focused on in-space transportation to help you move your small satellite from one orbit to another. What they're talking about more recently is also, in addition to the in-space transportation, they want to offer a turnkey service from the surface of the Earth up to the final orbit. So while they'll handle the second phase themselves, they would act as a broker for phase one. So they would do a package deal so it's easier for the company that wants to get the thing launched. And what they are saying is they should be in a position to offer the turnkey service by 2021. SpaceX has completed their 17th ISS resupply mission. And by complete, I mean it got to the station, the Dragon was attached to the station for roughly 30 days, and the Dragon is now detached and returned to Earth. So this is now one for the books. Next stop, Flight 18. The news has been covering pretty thoroughly NASA's plan and concept for going back to the moon with people. It's what they're calling the Artemis mission. What's less clear is where the money is going to come from to do the mission. NASA is not going to be able to do the entire mission out of internal funding. That just doesn't seem possible. And any effort even to try to do that would result in cannibalizing lots and lots of NASA programs. So we're getting mixed messages on this from Congress and from NASA. Some people are saying that, we're going to get the money from the government, this additional money that's needed, and other people are saying that we're going to have to, reach into our own pockets in NASA to get the money. So this is going to be a really tricky question moving forward. And the whole idea that somebody tied Pell Grants for economically challenged kids to go to college into this whole thing seemed almost sabotage to me. But we'll see how it goes. Right now, it's very unclear. For a long time, people have thought about using electromagnetic catapults to use lunar resources without the need for a rocket. So you'd mine some resources out of the moon, and you would then shoot it to its destination with a giant gun. This has been discussed for a long time. Started up with Robert Heinlein back in the 60s with his famous novel, The Moon is the Harsh Mistress. The news, though, is the Navy's been looking at railguns for their own use, and they're having a lot of success. And their testing has already reached speeds of over Mach 6 with their railguns that they're doing. So they're about 90% of the way to the velocity needed for a operational lunar catapult. So this is something that merits more study, because it would really change the dynamics of having raw material in space to work with in low Earth orbit. We could shoot the material there. PBS has an upcoming series about the Apollo missions. I'm not sure how many series that there are, books that are being released with the big anniversary coming up. But the PBS series is called Chasing the Moon. They're saying they're going to have some new slants that haven't been explored fully before. about scientific innovation, public relations, and political considerations. But this is going to be airing fairly soon, July 8th, and it's going to go for 3 nights. It's a 3-night show. So be sure to take a look at Chasing the Moon. NASA is looking hard at how they can embrace more commercial activity on the space station. And they recently made the first in what I believe is going to be a series of announcements about this. The first thing that they were talking about is that starting next year, up to 2 individuals can go up to the ISS on a tourism basis or an experimental basis with a company behind them, and they can stay at the space station for the low price of $35,000 a day. So in 2020, next year, they want to limit this to 2 people, with the probable outcome being, if it goes well, that it would be expanded to more people over time. And this is a very exciting thing. And we'll see what else they have in mind for commercialization of the space station moving forward. That's it for Space Headlines covering the first week of June 2019. Hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll see you in about a week. Take care.